Good morning, everybody, and welcome to European Pro League Division 2. We're going to be kicking off today with the upper and lower bracket finals. We're into the top four. We're going to be seeing who will be making it into that grand final, into the consolidation final as well, and well, who will be taking getting their hands on a share of the prize pool. We're going to be getting quickly into this first one, which is this lower bracket final game. Copenhagen Wolves versus Aurora Youngblood. You can see Copenhagen Wolves with the newest edition of Andu there. Magila, probably the player to watch out for, that rating 1.22 over the last 3 months, joined by Tapeware, Sejin and Era. They've had a similar path to Aurora coming into this one. Both teams came second in their groups, but they find themselves here already in the top four. Both teams having beaten the team who came first in their own groups, getting revenge. Copenhagen Wolves getting revenge on Viperio, Aurora getting revenge on Illumina. And as you can see, Aurora, the other team on the other side of the server today. Blixie, Blue White, Vilby, Grix and McHughes. Grix is certainly the player to look out for. A young, talented AWPer who's posting over a 1.3 rating across this event, coming from Belarus, and he's definitely someone which Copenhagen Wolves are going to be concerned about. See the map veto playing out on your screens here. We've got the Nuke and Dust 2 bans, permabans for both these two teams. Inferno, Mirage coming out as the picks with Vertigo, Ancient and Anubis in the last few, leaving Anubis as that decider. Inferno and Mirage, as expected, those are the preferred maps for these two teams. I would have been a bit more expecting Ancient to come into this one, but perhaps with Copenhagen Wolves having a new roster change and adding Andu, they might be feeling a little bit more comfortable on Mirage at plugging him in. And also, well, they've had some decent results on it in recent history. And we're going to be kicking things off straight away with Inferno. Map pick of Aurora Youngblood. They'll be interestingly starting on that CT side. Copenhagen Wolves choosing to start on the T. It's going to be a slow walk through towards second mid. Most of the Copenhagen Wolves players, Aurora Youngblood, have a 4-man stack in towards mid. They're now searching for information, looking to see what they can find. Blixie will take contact, will immediately fall. Blue White's going to hear these steps charging towards the long haul. Holding for Era. Will remove him, finds that trade into the 4-on-4, but in the meantime, Copenhagen Wolves have absolutely descended out of the apps and taken the site. Looking to take the fight towards these Aurora Youngblood players who are in a very difficult situation. Blue White does find a second frag, but in the process, all of his teammates have fallen. Now in a 1 versus 3, and he needs to probably ace this to win it. Isolates Andu. Copenhagen Wolves should be able to set themselves up in a good crossfire to defend this site. Blue White rotating in towards long for a different angle of approach. I'm not sure if there's a kick down for him to pick up. I think that might be why he walks in towards library. At least gets the smoke. Spotted out towards the mini pit. Got to try and unpick this crossfire. Beautiful shot onto Tapeware. Into the 1 versus 1. Time ticking. Does finish him off, but can't quite find that kit. So the bomb will explode. An ace for Blue White, but no round. The Copenhagen Wolves, you take the victory there. It's an interesting setup from Aurora Youngblood. They were aggressive towards, well, they stacked towards A. As they identified it was a bit more of a slower round. Started getting curious and towards apps looking for information, but there was no trade potential behind it. If anything, they just gave Copenhagen Wolves that opening to burst, to pounce on towards that A site. Nice Glock shots. Close it out. Aurora Youngblood going to be going for a force by attempting that second round break. Blue White with the ace and surviving the round means that he can afford a Hero M4, a rifle, in play. We'll see if the Aurora Youngblood side can set him up with this M4. Take the fight to Copenhagen Wolves. Take the fights on his terms. The rest of the Aurora Youngblood side working with very weak weapons, 5.7s, a Deagle, MP9. Far from ideal. Copenhagen Wolves are just playing it very slow here, waiting to see what the reaction, what the move, what the players from the Aurora Youngblood. Blue White successfully isolates Tapeware, but there's the trade. That's all Copenhagen Wolves need to do. Trade out. Every engagement. Hughes isolates Era. He picks up that M4. Only 3 bullets on that M4. So sorts back to the 5-7. Can't quite land the shot onto McHughes. An advantage for Aurora Youngblood. Rifles can be picked up here on towards Banana. Grix is in a very forward position. Could isolate the bomb carrier. Will land the tag, but a beautiful shot from Magila. Bomb should be planted towards the back of the site, the open Vino plant. Blixie choosing not to walk down Banana and pick up any of the AKs. Sticking with this MP9. Magila is low. Resmoke towards Moto will keep Blixie at bay. If anything, it might actually provide him some cover to creep around the edge. And there we go. Finds the low HP player. 2 versus 1. That's when Vilby strikes. I believe there's plenty enough time on that bomb. The force buy from Aurora Youngblood pans out. As I mentioned at the top of Banana earlier, with Blue-White getting that 1 kill, all Copenhagen Wolves needed to do was trade. They did that successfully against the first M4. But then Era walks into top Banana on his own. The player behind him was already 1 HP from Blue-White's M4 engagement. And then Era chooses to take a 1 versus 1 against the 5-7, rather than letting his teammate go first, the low HP player, to allow the high HP player of himself to trade. Gives up that fight and then loses that man advantage. And at that point the round sort of unravels Copenhagen Wolf side, and now they're forced to go for a force by themselves. 2 Galils, Pet 9s and a Deagle. Issue is, now Aurora Youngblood have some momentum, they have utility to add to their weaponry investments. They can smoke out bomb Banana, keep Copenhagen Wolves at bay, lock them out with map control. Copenhagen Wolves sides just going to clutch onto what little utility they do have. And burn that smoke towards long. After they identified Aurora Youngblood, able to lock them out of map control, they just sat back and waited for the smokes to fade. Minute on the clock. Now they decide to creep all 5 players in towards Banana. McHughes is the only defender here. He's got a smoke and a Molotov. And drops a smoke in good time. Buys time for Blue-White to rotate in, bolster this defense so they can set up a crossfire, and he still even has an incendiary to play for. Here comes a flash from Blue-White, tries to activate. McHughes good for 1, now Blue-White finds 2. Copenhagen Wolves assault stopped in its tracks by these 2 players. There won't be a single frag for the Copenhagen Wolves side. Stronghold from the 2 players as soon as contact was taken. It was risky, both players had utility in their hands. If it was a full-on shift, they could have just walked straight into the site and caught these players with the grenades in their hands. Big gamble made from Aurora Youngblood, anticipating that they'd make a sound cue, give them information that they were about to pop into the site. As soon as they heard a step, Molotov thrown in front of the smoke, flash over coffins, and they mow them all down. Copenhagen Wolves forced to eco. Will be full Glocks for them. And they're just going to be sat in towards T-spawn. Making a lot of noise in towards T-spawn. Jumping around, wasting time. I think Aurora Youngblood burn any utility. But the thing is, Aurora Youngblood, they've identified this. The issue with what's going on right now for Copenhagen Wolves is it's a common tactic when you're on a full eco, when you're on full Glocks on that T side, to just sit back and wait and let the CTs burn all their utility. Because a full belt of grenades costs about 1,000 per player. So if Aurora Youngblood throw all their grenades, that means next round, even if they don't die, they still have to reinvest about 1,000 per player. It stops that CT economy from getting out of control. Keeps it sort of limited. But because Copenhagen Wolves on this sort of T-spawn eco, as you want to call it. They're making so much noise. Aurora Youngblood have said, oh, okay, they're just sat waiting for time, waiting for us to burn grenades. Let's hold on to them. And you can see Aurora Youngblood still have full belts of grenades on pretty much everyone. 30 seconds left. Copenhagen Wolves just burst out into a boiler, and I'm met with an absolute blender. So nothing much to be gained from Copenhagen Wolves at all there. Not a single kill, and they burnt, what, 1 or 2 grenades per player by wasting time? Because they made so much noise in T-spawn shooting around. It could have been any clearer to Aurora Youngblood that they were just trying to bait time for util. Copenhagen Wolves have the utility to fight against Aurora Youngblood. Banana take comes in. HE's towards the logs. Blue-white taking point. A good headshot on towards Taperware. Andy does find the trade. Cuse had fallen back. Now they re-ingress. The issue is the bottom banana smoke has faded. They're now exposed to these players at the bottom, but that goes both ways. McCuse blinds the double. Stuck in front of this half wall. Drops the smoke just in time, but won't be able to get out of that corner before the spray comes in. At the end of the day, Aurora Youngblood have the man advantage. It's 3 versus 2 in their favour. "45 seconds on the clock. Aurora and Sejin have to try and pick a bomb site at this point. And they have picked correctly. The B bomb site, only 1 player to defend. And that's Vilby. A 2 versus 1 on this side, but Vilby is very cleverly, on low HP, decided to look, I will let you have the site. I'm just going to sit and play retake. As soon as you make noise taking the site in the form of these smokes, to clear it out, my teammates will rotate in, and then we'll have a 3 versus 2. And there you go, the bomb plan even denying that extra $600 cash injection on that T side. Really well played by Vilby in that 3 versus 2. Beautiful. Beautiful shots by McCuse. Taking the fights on his terms. I think it's because Grix is the player to activate in towards CT on that B site before Vilby. As they plant that bomb, they don't anticipate Vilby to be in. Hiding in coffins that entire time. Back down to pistols for Copenhagen Wolves. Copenhagen Wolves walk into banana control after Aurora Youngblood vacate. That Molotov is a dead giveaway that Aurora Youngblood aren't playing from top banana. They're playing from the site, and they burst, they pop, they accelerate in towards the site. Blue-white tries to hold his own, dancing around the new box, good for a second kill. McCuse gets involved in towards the coffins. Big buys enough distraction for Blue-white to find a third. In the meantime, the rotation comes in. Strong sight hold there from Aurora Youngblood. A really great attempt for Copenhagen Wolves. They identified that single Molotov thrown, which, well, missed the mark. It didn't land at the half wall. It landed on the top of the roof. It was all the information Copenhagen Wolves needed to say, oh, okay, they're playing from the site. They're not playing from top banana. We can walk into that for free silently, not give Aurora Youngblood any information. Aurora Youngblood didn't know that Copenhagen Wolves was so close. They're relying on Copenhagen Wolves having to use a little bit of util, make a little bit of noise to actually clear top banana first. But that allowed Copenhagen Wolves to pounce, accelerated with those Tech 9s, but Blue-White does such a good job at using that smoke to provide cover, provide new angles around that new box. Stays alive long enough for McCuse to cause a distraction to set themselves up for a good hold. Blue-White already on 13 kills. Obviously inflated by the ace on the lost pistol round. He's had 8 kills since then. Hot streak for Aurora Youngblood, and now Grix has got the AWP out. The sniper rifle in play again. He is kind of a danger man on this server right now, the man to watch. Opening walls contesting banana control, smoke towards the logs, extinguishes the Molotov, gives them some ground, some cover to play with, preventing Aurora Youngblood from fighting for banana control. Aurora Youngblood have actually silently vacated top banana. Want them back towards the site setup. That's when the retake util comes in to lock them out. In the meantime, Magila and Sejant taking apps control. Got themselves in a prime spot to react towards middle. There's a 3-man stack here towards short. This Molotov won't be enough to break it apart, but it'll push them back, able to isolate the fights. 2 quick frags. Grix fires an AWP shots off, doesn't land any. It's on to Vilby to try and defend the site, but good for only 1 before a quick trade comes in. McHugh and blue-white rotating in. I should find the 1 kill. Locked out behind this smoke. 2 versus 3. And Andu, that single kill will be enough to close out this round. McHugh, very little hopes at winning a 1 versus 3. Despite having util, despite having the kit. Have to fall back and save. Copenhagen Wolves get a second round on the board off the back of, well, simply breaking apart that A setup. So far for most of this game, it's been B hits after B hits. That's really the second round that they've gone towards A, and that's including the pistol. I guess third if you include the full Glock round where they jumped out of boiler, but who's counting those rounds? Good HEs on the Copenhagen Wolf side. Those soften up McHugh down to just below half HP. It's going to push Aurora Youngblood all the way back towards the site. Grix has rotated in a good swap with McHugh. Set this AWP up. In fact, they're just going to leave him solo. They're going to gamble, rotate 4 players over towards A. Leave Grix posted up in a very forward angle, even has utility to buy time should he be assaulted. Question is, what do Aurora Youngblood do with these 4 players towards A? They're just going to hold a slightly more passive setup. Looks to be the case. Rather than using the 4 to get aggressive, get information, they might do it reactively. Grix pushed back a little bit on towards Banana, but not aggressively so. He falls back in towards his angle. Gila looks to fight towards mid. Smoke towards long, volley towards short. Copenhagen Wolves are setting up for another A hit behind this. They had success before breaking apart the setups. They know the setups are very strong over towards B. The crossfires, bait and switches. Might have heard the rotations as well. They're about to anticipate or attack a bomb site with there's only 1 defender in play. Left him towards the mini pit and they found him and even found a second through the smoke. McHugh's falling. And immediately it's another save for Aurora Youngblood. Despite having 5 in a row, building up plenty of cash, it dwindles so quickly on that CT side. And you could tell Aurora Youngblood with the setup they had, that 4-1 with Grix towards the top of Banana, the 2 B players that had left B were still a little bit paranoid, concerned about the B site. I didn't put enough trust in Grix. The fact that Grix had that information, he was still on that line. because that meant they hadn't retaken mid, they hadn't got that information. Just as they were about to, a smoke came in towards long, and they weren't adamant, there wasn't conviction behind fighting or getting information towards mid, using those 4 players towards A to get information, using those numbers to an advantage on the A site. And without a single bit of pressure, they rotated away. Again, beautiful HEs, this time softening up blue-white. Copenhagen Wolves are adapting the style of play that Aurora Youngblood are bringing towards Banana. But, that being said, it's Andu to fall first, peeking in front of the smokes, seeing if he can try and capitalise on the HE damage. But he does so solo without any support, falls for free. Sejin looks to pressure mid. Spots a player towards short. Turning the solo player over here towards this A site for Copenhagen Wolves. Meantime, Aurora Youngblood are playing a heavy app setup and they've got very deep information. Should allow them to lean an extra player closer towards this B site. Still getting a bit inquisitive here. More information gathered as Blixie pushes towards the balcony. Spots that second mid is clear. Should be a dead giveaway that this is a B hit. Already 3 players now directly on towards this B side, but how much counter util Aurora Youngblood have to work with. Flashes come in. Blue-white counter flash over the coffins. Blue-white falls. Sejin not blinded, but that's when Mikuse activates from dark. Only good for 2 before running out of bullets and being traded, but it's just Magila in a 1 versus 3. Will successfully get the bomb planted. That's that $600 cash injection, but Blixie's flank finally gets involved. Catch him coming in from Banana. Youngblood will get their 6th. Again, another solid B-site hold. Aurora Youngblood using multiple different setups, multiple different variations, and commonly played around this sort of pop flash that Blue-White likes to throw over the coffins. He's been in multiple different positions, or rather, Mikuse has been in multiple different positions to play off of this flash. We've had him towards second oranges, we've had him towards new box, and now had him towards dark to swing to play off of that flash. Again, HE's Blue-White down to half HP again. The CT is constantly on the receiving end of these grenades. But the util comes through, sets themselves up to retake Banana, but that's when Andu, a simple spray, catches Blue-White, finishes him off. In fact, that's a HE that was a team HE. That was a CT HE, and Mikuse got an assist onto Blue-White there. In the meantime, Copenhagen Wolves were using that presence to try and work their way in towards long. Catch a timing to catch a rotation, a full contact play, but they've... I was about to say, lost Grix. Grix found a kill in the process, but Vilby has dropped from the server. It's now 2 versus 3 in Copenhagen Wolves' favour. And the last 2 defenders for Aurora Youngblood are both locked in towards this A bomb site.
Bomb has been planted.
Open B bomb site, bomb planted. Beautiful off angle held by Era, catches Blixie. Grix now needs to save. A well orchestrated set piece there from Copenhagen Wolves. Some heavy counter utility in towards Banana, thrown by Andu, keeps Aurora Youngblood honest. And it catches Aurora Youngblood mixing it up. Aurora Youngblood decided to go for a 3B setup to go for that retake on Banana to flash their way in. In Copenhagen Wolves, they had not only did Andu get the kill, spamming through the smoke on a low HP Blue-White, but the rest of the players were already in position to walk up long and capitalise on the fact that the A-bomb site only had 2 defenders. Those 2 defenders weren't playing aggressively for mid. They weren't playing to block off that choke point early to keep Copenhagen Wolves at bay. Instead, they were playing passive, playing so, look, we don't want to die whilst there's only 2 of us alive. That just means that they had massive gaps open, which Copenhagen Wolves exploited. Again, Andu contesting banana control on his own. Aurora Youngblood saving their utility. Not wanting to use it too early. Blue-white, bit of a spam, catches tableware, but it's just a dry walk from Sejin. Out towards Apps, finding the timing. Full contact play. Takes down both players on towards short. And that's it, this A-site defense has capitulated. These Copenhagen Wolves still have to try and get this bomb over towards the site. They will safely do so through Apps. Aurora Youngblood, all 3 players in place to potentially attempt this retake. Don't have the greatest amount of cash to commit to it. Era down towards the bottom of Mexico, but he's hard cleared by blue-white. Double kill for him already, equal into a 3-on-3, but the bomb is ticking. Smoke blocks off Pit, allows blue-white to isolate another fight. That's when Magila just uses that smoke to walk through the edge, catches a swing and lines up the last 2 players. Will be a 5th round for Copenhagen Wolves. Just look at this, the timing is perfect. It's right as, I'm not sure exactly who it was, I think it might have been Vilby, right as Vilby was rotating in towards long to get eyes towards Apps. It's the perfect time. There's like a 2-second window for Copenhagen Wolves to exploit there, and they catch it. And another HE. Lands a little bit deeper this time, blue-white. I was about to say he isn't scraped by that, but he will be by the HE, or by the AK, sorry, of Andu. It's one of the 2 M4s in this final round of the half for Aurora Youngblood falling. Attempting that retake, it looked possible, but in doing so, they've damaged their economy beyond repair, and they're having to force on the final round of the half. M4 recovered. Util deployed. Can't help but feel McHughes could have waited a second on that smoke, knowing that he had that incendiary up. He now has the last smoke in play. Will replenish this smoke in front of him. He's the lone defender who's got to try and hold. Does have 2 low HP players in front of him. May be able to finish, but a quick pre-fire from Taperware identifies McHughes' location, and he will be traded. Bomb site belongs to Copenhagen Wolves. Rick's a little bit high on that spam, won't be able to finish off the bomb planter. 3 versus 4 retake. Ricks finds Andu, so smoke fades. Thins the herd. In the meantime, Blix is coming on this flank. Will be late coming up. Banana doesn't want to make a sound. He's being held by Magila, but Magila on very low HP. MP9, even at that range, could finish it off. Smoke deployed on towards the bomb. Walk out, a trade on towards Grix, but that's when the Era activates. Leaving Blixie. Finally, Magila comes out of hiding. It will be a tied scoreline 6-6. A very good recovery from Copenhagen Wolves. Constantly finding the timings, these small windows, these small opportunities to catch Aurora Youngblood shuffling their defense. Reading the game really well in those last sort of 6 rounds. Copenhagen Wolves. You got that timing, that walk out towards Apps, the walk out towards long when there's a 3B set up. That's got a sting for Aurora Youngblood as well. They know that they're, all things being said, they have the stronger setups, especially over towards B. They were the better team when it came down to it, but it's these small timings that got the better of Aurora Youngblood. A tied scoreline at the half. Gonna come down to this as they swap over. Youngblood now on the T side, and they're getting aggressive fast up towards Banana. There's a 3-player stack in play. Copenhagen Wolves. Andu comes out through the smoke, only good for one. His teammates are unable to activate to support him. Taperware is good for one, and then Era finds another himself, but again it's traded 2 for 2. So we can really ask for. Bomb planted, fast rotation coming in from Banana from the 2 A players. McHughes drive-by as he tries to reposition in towards the orange, catches Magila, leaving Sejin 1 versus 2. A bait and switch established. McHughes, just a jiggle, finds the head of Sejin. The Glock, incredibly strong. People know how to use it. Triple kill for him. Aurora Youngblood will get themselves off to a strong start on Inferno, taking that CT pistol away from Copenhagen Wolves. Anyone who understands the CT economy here in CS2 will know not a good situation for Copenhagen Wolves, especially on a map like Inferno, where it's so util heavy. Copenhagen Wolves will be going for a full eco, just BT50 bought up for Era. Going for a 5-man stack towards A, in towards apps. We can try and crunch on any players. You venture too far in towards the apartments. Counter utility drone from Aurora Youngblood, just clearing out at the middle in case there is a stack. Beautiful shot from Vilby to find that second one. Can't quite find the third. Definitely Gila's going to double up. That's a rifle retrieved. Blue White has to try and get this bomb safely in towards T-spawn. It's going to be a difficult setup for him to try and get it back in towards Banana unless McHughes can find the cover. Do so. Sejin, no armor on that Galil, unable to find the spam. Leave Taperware. 15 points of health coming on that flank up the T-ramp. We'll try and walk through the smoke on a timing, but Grix, aware of it being a possibility, even upgrades to that Galil. A couple kills there. Copenhagen Wolves gives them a little bit more cash to work with here on their first gun round, so they can afford the extra grenade or two. Vitally important on a map like Inferno. But very quickly it's diminished. A really strange play from Vilby there to just walk through the mid-smoke and fight towards long solo. That's a free kill given towards Copenhagen Wolves. Man advantage for the CTs, untradeable was that engagement. Aurora Youngblood set their sights towards A, creeping in towards apps, towards middle. Then we have to pop for 2 players. Blixie tries to jump out, but Sejin not blinded. McHughes will find the trade, but he'll be traded himself. It leaves Grix in a 1 versus 3 as he comes up towards short. Era find the gap to peek towards pit. Copenhagen Wolves get their 7th. A little bit of a fumble there from Aurora Youngblood. Trying to go for a simple round. Trying to pop on towards that A site. But a 2-man setup in towards pit is hard to break, especially with an apps drop. Andy, perfect spam. Just as the Molotov flushes out, Blue White catches him Going to reposition in towards the smoke. Again, the opening pick for Copenhagen Wolves. Now gets aggressive, finds another, but it's quickly traded. Doesn't expect McHughes to be ready for that engagement. Tapewear holds strong. McHughes walks straight into the walls of the crosshair. Oh, shoulder not spotted. The smoke comes in towards Boiler, but Magila peeks a little bit too early. He finds the headshot. 3 versus 2 will be very low. Advantage, without a doubt, still in Copenhagen Wolves' favour. But it could have been even more so. Sergeant falls back towards the site. Don't want to get caught on a timing. Not watching apps. Dixie. Searching. The Tech 9 at that range won't find anything. 10 seconds left. Vilby has to accelerate towards this site. Steps heard. Firing squad lies in wait. Scoreline tied up yet again. And that was the force buy for Aurora Youngblood. That was Tech 9, Kevlar, Galil, Scout. Find only 2 kills. Aurora Youngblood gonna have to go for another Glock full eco. Rick's doing some firing practice towards T-spawn. By the looks of things, they're doing a similar round where it's sort of a wait for the CTs to burn their utility. Cause Copenhagen Wolves to have to reinvest. Even if they don't die, they'll still have to reinvest the utility that they throw this round. They've burnt quite a bit trying to take map control, taking Banana. It's not easy to be disciplined with the utility on a round like this. Era, the MP9 is wanting to farm some cash, make some profit with the SMG. Andu looking to do the same. We'll find McHughes. Heard blue-white spamming in towards Mexico. We'll collect a double kill. Grix and Vilby trying to hold up towards second mid and apps. And Vilby with the Glock burst fire, I believe that was. We'll find the headshot towards Magila. The rifle. Andu's able to pick up and find Grix. Vilby will be hunted down as well. Interesting variations in approach for that kind of round on the CT side. In the first half we saw, again, similar round played out where Copenhagen Wolves were the ones in T-spawn with the Glock sat waiting to try and bait out the utility, and Aurora Youngblood's reaction was to sit all the way back, not throw any grenades, and just sit in the crossfires. Whereas there, Copenhagen Wolves, roles reversed, Copenhagen Wolves went aggressive to try and find the Glocks, said, look, stop wasting your time, we'll go kill you. Aurora Youngblood come in with the investment, but already their utility burnt, very quickly contesting Banana. Very little left, 4 smokes, a Molotov and a HE, no flashes to actually enter on towards these sites. Retake utility thrown, and I believe blue-white shoulder spotted. He tried to get in towards cover. The HE and the spam from Tapperware catch his shoulder and finish him off. The opening kill again going Copenhagen Wolves' way. And Blixie now walking in through apps straight into all Surgeon's crosshair. Bricks holds CT really well. In fact, finds the double kill. 2 beautiful headshots crack open the site. Just as Copenhagen Wolves had a 2-man advantage, they had not 1 but 2 opening kills, 3 kills, untraded. Aurora Youngblood dismantle this B bomb site, and when I say Aurora Youngblood, I mean Grix. Holds perfectly there, making sure he doesn't get counter-flashed by that Coffin's Peak. Catches the CT swing, perfect headshot, even swings, catches the player trying to fall through the wall and make it a triple kill for Grix. Like I mentioned, the player to watch for this Aurora Youngblood side. And so far, this entire half, we can already see how many rounds in are we? What, 6 rounds in? 9-9. We're 6 rounds in, and you can already see Aurora Youngblood are constantly giving up these opening kills without trade potential. We've had players just shifting through a smoke on their own more than once. Over towards A. We've had players, blue-white, being picked off constantly towards banana by the likes of Andu and Tapework. Aurora Youngblood are constantly having to work from the back foot here on their T side. Always a man down. When you're a man down, you kind of have to rely on players like Grix to take the initiative, to find those multi-kills. But that is kind of one of the characteristics of Inferno, is that even if you've got a 5 versus 3, even if you've got a 2-man advantage on that CT side, chances are you've only got 2 defenders on one. Well, you're pretty much guaranteed to only have 2 defenders on one of your sites, namely the B site. It's more likely that you have 3 towards A, 2 towards B. So even if you have the 2-man advantage, it's still going to be a 3 versus 2 on that B bomb site. Here, the AWP. We'll go for another opening pick, holding. Not too aggressively, just to find the right timing to peek. Doing this bench push. There you go, we'll catch Vilby again. Another opening kill. Aurora Youngblood, back foot once again. Make it twofold. Grix walks in towards mid to try and go for the trade, but walks straight into Era's crosshair. That's the heavy hitter for Aurora Youngblood. Yes, he's not top of the scoreboard, but he's certainly the star player. Removed the Youngblood side. Now they look to retake banana. And do Taperware, very forward setup. Taperware can jiggle behind the corner of this pillar, and he finds 2 and sets up Andu for the last. Aurora Youngblood failed to trade out. Didn't even find the opening. In towards banana. Will be the Copenhagen Wolves onto double digits first. I think Aurora Youngblood going to take their first tactical timeout here. Copenhagen Wolves now in the lead. Closing in on stealing this map away from Aurora. Aurora have to work with just pistols here. Tech 9, the odd piece of Kevlar. A beautiful spam off the back of that HE catches Grix. Trying to find space behind the face smoke. Youngblood now creeping in. Behind the smoke, ready for a pop, but Sedge in place. Anti-flash, a good spray. Gonna line up 2. Magila holds his own towards short. Gonna leave Vilby in a 1 versus 5. Nera picked up Tech 9. Fires off a shot. Whips out the Tech 9. Spams him down. Now 11-9. The gap lengthening. Aurora Youngblood need to find the change up. But it's so hard to find any success when you're constantly losing opening pick after opening pick. And the tendency for a lot of teams when they identify that it's losing these opening picks is to just fall all the way back and play almost too passively to the point where you get nothing done. the moment, Copenhagen Wolves have so much freedom and confidence to take the fights that they please. Just look at the utility for Aurora Youngblood. They started off this round with full belts on all but 2 players, and it's all gone. Simply just to try and take banana control. The trade of utility certainly has been won by Copenhagen Wolves. Now they look to retake banana control, but a perfect boost. Good for 1. Finally an opening. It is traded, however. Andu, the lone defender on this site, tries to peek, tries to punish the players who are trying to isolate him. But in doing so, will fall. Aurora Youngblood will get this B-bomb site. Much more composed. They don't lose those opening picks too early on. Managed to trade out successfully, and again, that B-bomb site, it's why Inferno is often this sort of save simulator. All you have to do is take 1 player down towards B, and you know there's only 1 defender left. You can try and fight him before the rotation comes in, because it is a long rotation over towards that B-bomb site. There you have it, 4 versus 3. Copenhagen Wolves have to save, or Youngblood will find themselves onto double digits as well. Copenhagen Wolves looking to fight for some exits here. Lots of util damage done. The Aurora Youngblood players will just sit tucked in towards logs. All 4 players will survive. Hira now takes the AWP over towards B. Initial util thrown. Grenades traded here towards banana. A little bit of a back and forth. Bit of a missed Molotov. It meant to land behind the wall, but instead it lands in front. Let's Aurora Youngblood know what kind of setup is being played here towards banana. Damage traded. Reduce and Era down to around 30 points of health. Meantime, Aurora Youngblood had cleared out apps, but now they've vacated it. They set themselves up for a B site hit. Era lies in wait with this AWP. He's going to be smoked off. Unless he can push in front of this and find a quick kill, he'll have to fall back and they'll play retake. A good spam from Andy will find 1. A cheeky headshot through the edge of the smoke. Utility flashes try and slow down Aurora Youngblood, delay this bomb plant. They will get it down eventually. Blixie towards the top of banana will catch through the pixel. 2 players before being traded by Sejin. Equalizes the player count, and this is an unnecessary play from Vilby. A sticky spot. Unfortunately, it's traded. Grix now on the 1 versus 2. Both these last players are low. He knows Andu will take contact first. There's the headshot to Era with the AWP. Only has to land 1 bullet, and he will. Picks up the kit, but I don't think there's enough time. He will choose to save. Aurora Youngblood will tie us up again. 11-11. It gets close. Blixie, the double kill towards banana. Vilby, a big fumble pushing through that smoke unnecessarily so. Personally, I think the risk of pushing through that smoke is so high, it makes so much more sense for him to use the cover of that smoke to just take a fight towards Coffins. Like, is a Coffins player going to expect you to peek from their left side? Chances of that rather than just a blind shift through a smoke. Regret it, but regardless, the round is won. 1 versus 2 from Grix. So double AWP setup for Copenhagen Wolves. Tableware an AWP of his own, but that's at the cost of a lot of utility. Utility, which is very important here towards Banana. And he won't even find a kill. Punished. Caught. Overextending behind car. Man advantage for Aurora Youngblood. Gila looks to recover things and will find the head of Blixie. A 2-man push in towards Apps finds rewards. Well, this is 50 seconds left on the clock, and all 4 players for Aurora Youngblood just sticking together. They know that as soon as they split up, that's when the players start making silly plays. That's when they start taking silly fights on their own. They say, look, if our trading is poor, let's just group up. Cover ourselves. They found the right timing. They're just going to shift back into Apps. They know that Copenhagen Wolves will likely have vacated it after getting aggressive. And that they have. Even more so, they just left Sejin, the lone defender, and he's towards the top of middle. He's going to hear these steps. We'll be able to hold the cross from short. Here comes a double peek, and it's an instant headshot from Blue-White. In hot form right now. Magila goes open the smoke. I don't think he spotted McHugh's leg. It was visible, at least from the observer point of view. But a man disadvantage with the bomb planted again. Retakes. Not easy on this map. So much cover for the T's to play with. Not enough util for the CTs to flush it out. Blue-White on low HP will fall to the bomb, but 3 players surviving for Aurora Youngblood is profitable, and they find themselves up on map point. Bit of a micro comeback here. 3 in a row. Could they make it 4? See, Copenhagen Wolves are using their 3rd tactical pause. Oh, the remaining 3 of 4, so I think this might actually be their first. One final round here in regulation. Full utility on all players. An AWP on either side. And 5 kits in play for Copenhagen Wolves. Should they lose the site, they will have to go for a retake. Blixie punishes Majila's aggression. Holding strong from the door. Openings are twofold as Andu also taken down towards the top of Banana. Copenhagen Wolves have realised the success they found was when they were getting these openings, but the openings were found off of Aurora Youngblood's mistakes. Now Aurora Youngblood have sort of tightened up their defaults. Copenhagen Wolves are having to force the issue, and in doing so they're just walking into the crosshairs. Walking into the setups of Aurora Youngblood. Sergeant trying to equalise, trying to find a fight towards A, down to 5 points of health. He has at least pushed Aurora Youngblood away from the A site and into the waiting arms of Era and Tableware. Steps certainly heard. They should wait for this smoke to bloom. Tableware, shoulder spotted, traded by Era through the smoke. Tried to flash his way through but won't find a second. Instead, find a spray of bullets through the edge of the smoke. Bomb planted. 4 versus 2. next to no utility for this retake and no health either. Just as Copenhagen Wolves looked like they were going to close out this game, looked like they were going to steal it. Aurora Youngblood are answering back with potentially a fourth in a row here. After tightening up their defaults, they stopped losing these opening picks, forced the issue on towards the Copenhagen Wolves side, and it will be a 13-11 on Inferno. A hard-fought victory for the Aurora Youngblood side, especially after that tactical timeout on that T side, identifying that they were constantly losing those opening picks. They tightened it up, and my, what a half from them. That will be them going 1-0 up in this series. We'll be moving over to Mirage next, which is Copenhagen Wolves map pick after a short break, so don't go anywhere. Welcome back to the lower bracket final here of European Pro League Division 2. We're on the second map of this best of 3 series, Aurora Youngblood versus Copenhagen Wolves. Aurora Youngblood just managed to take their map after a 4-round comeback to close it out 13-11 on Inferno. A good tactical timeout addressing the issue of losing these opening picks, but we're here on Mirage. Copenhagen Wolves map pick. A map which only 4 days ago, Copenhagen Wolves 13-5'd Aurora Youngblood on this map. We'll see if Aurora Youngblood have made any adjustments, but it's Copenhagen Wolves going to be taking the initiative, taking the fights on their terms here. A quick A split, blue-white, domed in towards dark. McHughes overwhelmed towards Ticket Booth, and just like that, I think Aurora Youngblood might have to go for a save here in a 3 versus 5. Bomb already ticking, no kit in play. Grix, domed, Blixie, trades. They're just being hunted down here, these two players fall. Philby's going to be clutching onto his Kevlar and the Julies. Copenhagen Wolves looking to perhaps hunt a little bit, see if they can remove this weapon from his hands, remove the Kevlar. Not doing so too aggressively. Well, there you go. Surgeon, beautiful shot towards Philby. No Kevlar saved over. That would have been very nice for Aurora Youngblood to have. They could have attempted a force buy here. We saw on Inferno, very similar situation. On the CT side, Copenhagen, Aurora Youngblood lost the pistol round. One player survived with Kevlar. They brought up a Hero M4 behind it. Could have got a Hero rifle up on Philby. Could have dropped the Julies over. Instead, it will be full USPs. A single flashbang on Blixie. Will be a full B stack. In fact, they're creeping their way over towards short. Wouldn't be surprised if we see Blixie surround that flash over towards middle. Copenhagen Wolves haven't found anything just yet. They're setting themselves up for a mid default, but something has let them know that the A site is, well, going to be an easier site to hit, and maybe they heard a step on a player towards short. Again, like I said, 4 days ago, these two teams faced on this exact map. There's extra layers of familiarity between these two teams, even if they've done their research or not. It's going to be a simple execution on towards this A-bomb site. Smokes towards jungle and stairs. Andu with the MAC-10 taking point, clearing out the hiding spots. Aurora Youngblood will look to perhaps hunt and see if they can find an exit frag, pick up an AK or two, do some damage to the Copenhagen Wolves side. Copenhagen Wolves should not hunt, well, pretty much at all here. Maybe you could excuse Andu for doing so, but even then, it's only profitable if he gets another 2 kills at least to make up for losing Kevlar, and you need another kill or 2 to make up for losing a MAC-10, so might as well just stay alive, keep that weapon in hand. It's not going to gain anything by removing a single flashbang from the CTs. Youngblood will invest here a 3rd round buy for them. 4 M4s, 1 MP9 and McHughes. Enables him to get a little bit more utility, get a kit in play. He has got that MP9 over towards the A site, so quite an open range site. Good spray transfer. Spray control, in fact, to finish off Era, and even doubles up to find Magila. There's trades back and forth. Aurora Youngblood coming out on top with a man advantage. 3 versus 2. One planted. Andu with this MAC-10, low HP in towards jungle. HE, a risky throw. Bad missed. It could have finished off his teammate there. Aurora Youngblood look to retake in through CT. Grix and Blixie clearing out, playing the trade potential. See Vilby coming in late through connector, but his steps should be heard. That smoke hasn't quite landed as far onto the bomb as they perhaps hoped. Taperware tags down, Molotov in towards jungle, but Andu's in front of it. The fuse ticking, and Andu finishes off the diffuser with a spam through the smoke, lands the headshot, and that's it. No kit, not enough time. Andu will close out the round with essentially a 1 versus 2 clutch there, taking down the diffuser. Perhaps maybe if the smoke had landed closer towards the bomb, it would have obscured Andy's vision a little bit more. He would have had less points of reference to see where the bomb was within the smoke, or to line up the spray. But maybe not. Maybe he just wildly spams and gets it anyway. Either way, does such a good job at hiding, waiting for that time, letting that bomb tick down. Now Aurora Youngblood, pistols again. They do this time have the scout on Grix. Missed windows. Did I say missed window smoke? Missed window smoke. Now McHugh's to have, or Grix to have that gap. I won't land the shot. And it's slow for Copenhagen Wolves. A 1-3-1 default. 2 players just holding the extremities. 3 taking their time clearing mid. Waiting for any potential reactions, just in case there is a pop play. We already saw that was what Aurora Youngblood was setting up the last time they were eco. They had 5 players, well, 3 towards short with a flash ready to pop them out in towards middle to take the fights. Copenhagen Wolves just making sure they're not in a position to get caught off guard by that, but it will be an A split. Blue-white, the lone defender, he does have a 5-7. Close range, a good weapon for the job. Flicks up quickly to get the second. Picks up the AK and gets out of dodge. Falls away from the fights. 2-man advantage. Aurora Youngblood can set themselves up for a CT retake. Don't have much util for this. Nor do they have a kit. They just need to use their numbers to their advantage, and Era overwhelmed. Surgeon, Tapaware. Got to try and isolate this, but Tapaware doesn't anticipate Blixie coming on the flank, and there will be the defuse coming through. A full eco for Aurora Youngblood, and not a single kill for Copenhagen Wolves. 5 players survive. They can all upgrade to the AKs. I believe there was a Mac 10 in place, so Grix might choose to stick to the scout. But now he's just going to straight upgrade to AWP. What a beautiful round from Aurora Youngblood. Blue-white, the perfect spot for that 5-7 to line up 2. Copenhagen Wolves unable to trade, and the 2-man disadvantage, an easy retake on that A site. Just swarming in. Blue-white. Tag down low. The boost. Going towards the top of middle to allow them to peek in towards the bottom of connector early. Flash. Barely slowed down the Copenhagen Wolves players. They creep out of underpass. Lazy clear from Magila. Doesn't anticipate Vilby to be a little bit deeper. Will be punished. Kill found. Smoke dropped by Vilby to provide some cover. Allows him to fall away from ladder room. Good. HE will soften them up down to half, but it's still a man advantage for the CTs. Copenhagen Wolves set themselves up for an A split. 3 through connector, 1 late through Palace. 2 players lying in wait for this setup. One of them being Grix with the AWP. Shot on the first, now the split only remains on these connector players. Grix tries to fall back. Good flash delays the aggression, the push coming on in. Slowly these Copenhagen Wolves players are being picked apart. 1 single kill onto McHughes close towards the ramp, but that is all. I do have a quick tech pause. Hopefully it will be resolved as soon as possible. So far Aurora Youngblood looking strong on that CT side. Managing these early picks, managing the rotations. I've identified how slow Copenhagen Wolves are liking to play on their defaults. How they approach this 1-3-1, it's always slow mid-control, measured, taking their time clearing it, getting themselves up in towards connector, and more often than not, set themselves up for an A split. With 5 rounds in total. Only seen a limited amount of full buys. So far, on at least 2 of them, Copenhagen Wolves have, after their default, gone straight into an A split. Yet to see them even hit the B site, I believe. Just to read off some stats. Again, from 4 days ago when these two teams faced on this map. Copenhagen Wolves won 13-5, but it was heavily off the back of Andu, who finished that map with a 2.09 rating, over 120 ADR. The question is that performance reproducible? The likelihood is no. At least on an individual level. From Andu, but can Copenhagen Wolves find the success that they had only a few days ago? It does look like Vilby has dropped from the server. Hopefully he'll be back in play in just a moment. Things you've also got to mention sort of the momentum coming into this map. Aurora Youngblood having just about taken Inferno away from Copenhagen Wolves, just as Copenhagen Wolves look like they're about to steal the map. Can either side reset? As it's different than the previous Mirage these two teams played. That one was the first map in the series. There we go, a quick restart, quick refresh on the round. As Vilby joins us in the server again. Aurora Youngblood have managed to break the economy of Copenhagen Wolves. They've not had much time to build as much bank as they'd hoped. So they're going to be on full blocks, a single deagle on the tape away, and they're setting their sights over here towards B with the bomb. Ooh, and that Molotov, that tag, a loud hiss. It steps on the toes of Andu. It's a lot of information that Aurora Youngblood have. Thanks to that tick, Andu then tries to jump down towards underpass to make it look like, well, he's no longer heading towards B. But he does group back up with his teammates. At the time on the clock, Copenhagen Wolves realise, yeah, there's no fooling that. Fall back and towards mid. And they've chosen a good timing. Aurora Youngblood have just fallen off of mid control. Or at least weaken their defense. Grix has decided to group up towards B. And now Blue-White falls away from window exactly a second before Copenhagen Wolves walk in. But Vilby still stands strong towards short. We'll find 2 kills, and that's information enough for Blue-White to come back in towards connector. Gila, in a 1 versus 5, has found the gap, boosted up in towards the window, looking to go for that knife kill. But a quick no-scope from Grix. One more swipe would have been enough to get a knife kill on towards Grix, but he stays alive. What a fast pivot. Najila couldn't quite get behind Grix there to find the right click. Went for the left, left, right. For any of the uninitiated on CS, the knife can one-shot someone if it's a backstab. If it's not in the back, it won't be a one-shot. It's quicker to do a left, left, right rather than a right-click. To be honest, Magila can walk under the crosshair, but at the moment, nobody's walking under the crosshairs. And McHughes, good for one. Trades come through. Vilby denies the Palace burst from Sejin. Now he can focus his attention towards the players coming out towards ramp. High states Magila, but it's into the 2-on-2. He's got to try and dance around Pillar. Andu's leg spotted. Vilby peeks at the perfect timing to catch him. Transitioning with utility out of Vilby. Beautiful positioning. Dancing around that default box. Anticipating the jump up from Era as well. Catches him through the hole. Just brilliant presence of mind there from Vilby. Playing with that information. Focuses his crosshair towards Palace. Even as McHughes is falling to players coming out of ramp, Vilby stares at Palace, waits for that one player to come through, lands that headshot, drops down, dancing around that box, isolates the fight to the next two, and even reads Era's position perfectly. Aurora Youngblood now up to a fourth, taking the lead. Copenhagen Wolves on pistols again. Now, by the looks of things, they'll be setting themselves up for a bit of a fake over towards B with some util. Actually, no. I stand corrected. It's Andu and Magila who are over here towards B, and they've only got one smoke between them. They're just holding for this push. I think the util will be thrown over towards A, and it'll be a double fake. Util thrown towards this A site. Magila and Andu can then burst towards B, try and make it look like a double fake. But the bomb really commits towards ramp under the cover of the util. Or they come in towards underpass for a split. She was a double fake, wouldn't work too well with the fact that they haven't set a precedent of taking that B site at all yet. The util comes through. Try and make a bit of presence, show the bomb, but Vilby knows the protocol. When an A execute comes in, clear out underpass. Clears out underpass, goes 1 for 1 there. Prong off that split removed. It leaves tape aware. 1 versus 3 with a bomb dropped towards ramp. Has to try and isolate these fights, but it's not easy against an AWP. Aurora will get their 5th in a row. Another investment here for Copenhagen Wolves, but it's Era. Whips out the sniper rifle, goes for an opening pick towards B, but so does Grix. And Grix, the younger player, just a little bit quicker. Belarusian start finds the opening engagement after a fast boost. Era, you can see his crosshair placement was focused towards the van, anticipating a jump spot. Doesn't anticipate such a quick rotation, such a quick peak on the upper levels. Man advantage, Copenhagen Wolves now. Plan A falls. They have to fall back to working mid control again, but so far it's just not been successful. Bit of a mix up here. They set their sights towards short, and they do get a couple opening kills. In fact, double up. Sejin, a good double kill. McHughes falls, at least Blixie. 1 versus 3. Copenhagen Wolves should be able to piece together this. Knowing Blixie, normally the B defender. He'll catch the one player rotation, but Magila picks up that AWP, a double kill for him as well. That round kind of handed the Copenhagen Wolves on a plate. Again, so far these mid rounds for Copenhagen Wolves on their buy rounds, it's been walk up connector, split A, walk up connector, split A. They had no one coming out towards Palace and said, look, let's change our approach. Let's work our way up towards short, up towards catwalk, and they catch Aurora Youngblood trying to take the fights a little bit too early. Another default split. Copenhagen Wolves. Era with the AWP again. taking that one towards Palace. Currently smoked off. The idea is he'll be able to hold down the rotations of jungle by scoping up, pinning jungle from Palace. Might be able to catch blue-white falling back here. Don't want to peek too soon. The window smoke comes through. And there you go. Ira catches McCuse, peeking over the top of the stairs. The opening kill. Blue-white finds a perfect time to just peek in towards connector. Doesn't want to be caught holding these angles. Falls back in after hearing Andu clear it and fall out. Andu shouldn't expect to play in towards connector right now, but he's just waiting, buying time for his teammates to come in through towards the A site, and Tableware is actually clearing connector. Diligent play from Andu to just hold, to sit back, but Vilby taking in through CT will catch Session. Information now for Copenhagen Wolves to work with, especially considering Andu's still holding the middle portion of the map and Blixie's flank held. Good shot from Vilby. Now into the 1 versus 2. Again, not aware of where Andu could have gotten to. Or Tableware for that matter. Last time Tableware was spotted, he was swinging top connector. There you go. We'll finish off Tableware. Molly dropped towards connector. Bomb planted open for jungle. Shoulder spotted, but the USP not the weapon for that fight. Copenhagen Wolves tie up the game. And consolation frags for Vilby. Economic damage done to the T's. Warp removed from Era. He won't be able to use that sniper to get another opening. They force Copenhagen Wolves to go back to another default. It's just a wide swing though towards the top of middle with 4 players. A bit of a hold towards underpass. This might be the perfect way to catch them off as blue-white has his gun in hand. Will catch them clearing connector. Shots thrown down towards Andu. The swing comes in from McCuse. Vilby up next. Lines up one. Smoke blooms. The HP low. Copenhagen Wolves being overwhelmed here from a split. Not expecting 2 players to be coming up from underpass. Vilby had an inkling that Andu could be hiding in towards this smoke. Went for a little spam. Doesn't quite land the shot. There you go. We'll clear him out eventually. Leaving Sergeant 1 versus 4. Bomb not in his control. It couldn't have been a more perfect counter from Aurora Youngblood for the round that Copenhagen Wolves decided to run. So far, their mid defaults have been slow. They've been progressive. It's been measured with utility, making sure that they keep the CTs at bay, clearing out connector with utility. But there was full contact. It was a full 4-man swing, then a shift in towards the bottom and middle, shift in towards connector, trying to capture timing, anticipating Aurora Youngblood to make an adjustment by playing more towards the sites, expecting Aurora Youngblood to perhaps vacate middle, play it much more passively, but no. They're 2 players in towards underpass, and they come in, cause so much chaos, and a double peek comes in towards the top of connector. Aurora Youngblood maintain a lead. They get themselves up towards 6. Final round of the half, and Copenhagen Wolves, they've got 4 pistols, 3 Tech-9s at Eagle, 1 single AK on Magila, handful of grenades. Magila using this AK, taking point, shifting out towards Tetris. Spotted. McCuse behind triple. Take a gamble rotation. Surely he would have been spotted now by the rotation coming in from blue-white. Oh no, Magila successfully uses that AK to get to the Deagle on Era, catches the rotation, leaves Blixie in a 1 versus 4, and Era just shifted underneath him all the way. Looks up, will catch him, it will be 6-6. A beautifully chaotic round there from Copenhagen Wolves. Something which we've not seen them sort of try to sow, right? It's about that philosophy of causing chaos, but on your own terms. Magila just walking out of ramp there. Everyone else ready to pounce. As soon as he gets one kill, the rotations, the panic comes in from the rest of the Aurora Youngblood players. Copenhagen Wolves in the right position to capitalise. Another tied scoreline, very similar fashion to what we saw on Inferno, with a strong streak of 5 from Aurora Youngblood before Copenhagen Wolves stabilise. Now we swap over, and again on Inferno, the issue for Aurora Youngblood's T side was losing those opening kills early on, but they plugged that hole just in the nick of time before they sank. See if they can continue that composure, or if Copenhagen Wolves have a much more comfortable defence on their CT of Mirage. Will be a bit of a stat for Copenhagen Wolves. Andu firing shots down at the top of connector through the smoke. Will find the opening on towards blue-white. Man advantage, and should have also spotted the bomb. And you're getting lots of information here, and even a second kill. There you go, bomb dropped. Surgeon activates, takes down Grix. Round for Aurora Youngblood, being completely picked apart. Just a single kill. As soon as Andu gets that one towards the top of mid, but that's it, the round falls apart, because I'm not sure exactly what the plan was with the extra player staying towards top boxes in mid, but the bomb running solo in towards connector on his own, with Grix making maybe a little bit of noise towards Palace, the player towards ramp, I think it was Vilby, barely activating. You're relying entirely on one player running up connector, with the bomb no less. Surviving, causing enough chaos to find the openings. But no bomb plant for Aurora Young, but it will be a full eco for them. Tech 9 in play, but Andu with this MP9, confident, aggressive, in towards apps. Aurora Youngblood try and fake this B hit, a pop, one player takes contact and flashes come through, and they have pulled a heavy rotation. That's partly due to Andy's forward position in Palace. Copenhagen Wolves are confident and happy to say, look, we've got a very strong position on A. We can lean towards this B bomb site. And a beautiful HE, put Philby down low. 3 versus 5, the swing comes in, the MP9. Measured sprays from Magila. Leaves blue-white 1 versus 5, and he'll be hunted down. 8th for Copenhagen Wolves. Now the rifles come out on both sides. See if Aurora Youngblood can maintain that composed pack style of play that we saw on Inferno, or if they'll split up a little bit too much, similar to what we saw on the pistol. Tape away. Confident enough to rotate late in towards that B-bomb site. Get himself towards Van and start jump spotting. Passive hold from McCuse in the meantime. Grix has found an opening in towards middle. The 3 players work their way towards connector. McCuse holds for this push and is good for 1. A quick headshot on towards Andu, finished off with the body shot. A quick trade from Sejin. Man advantage maintained for Aurora Youngblood. But it's deep information for Copenhagen Wolves, but what a shot from Grix. The pixel of a head from Taperware peeking in towards short. And he falls. That's a lot of information for Aurora Youngblood. You can see they've even got a forward position on Blixie. He's found the timing after Taperware fell towards short. They know he's the B anchor. Blixie finds the timing, walks out in towards market, and currently has rotations locked off. Okay, now start to accelerate. And Majiva, presence of mind. He knows that if Aurora Youngblood are sprinting, there's only one reason for it. And that's because a player must have already cleared out B, found that timing after Taperware fell. Fortunately, Aurora Youngblood had a fallback option. Blue-white holding in towards connector. Coming out from underpass, heard the rotations come through, and now they can get themselves up on towards this A-bomb site, but fast rotation from Sejin will catch Vilby after he gets off the bomb, but it's Grix to hold strong. A 4K for him, some beautiful shots pivoting around the connector. Pretty sure all 4 kills came from that part of the map. The first opening, taking a player down in connector, then from connector taking a player in short. The rotation then comes through back towards that A site, gets another player towards short, and even catches Sejin there. Crisp, clean shots. Copenhagen Wolves empty their bank accounts to afford this buy. Next to no utility. They have got that AWP up on Aero. We'll see if he can make that the difference maker. Currently posting up towards B. See if he can punish any overextensions. Copenhagen Wolves not playing heavily for mid control. They do have a 2-man setup in towards connector. But a smoke will push them back. We'll keep them at bay. Steps heard. Andy was just going to creep on through. There's a spam coming in from Sejin to provide him cover, but that just gives away his location for Blue-White to exploit. We'll see if Andu can make up for it with his position. He activates, but he's only good for 1. A quick trade comes through. And that A site capitulates, giving Era and Tapeaway in a 2 versus 4. Bomb will be planted. Era will catch Mikus going for a hunt, but that's Era's location known. Aurora Youngblood with only 3 players alive. They don't want to hunt too aggressively. As much as they want to remove that AWP from Era's hands, they know that they don't have the funds themselves to get a strong buy next round unless 3 players maintain their lives. So they'll safely exit towards ramp. That round all hinged on a risky play made towards connector with Andu creeping in through that smoke. You can see the idea, right? He commed to his teammate. I believe it was Sejin. Spam that smoke from stairs for me. I'll walk through into the corner. But in doing so, the spam, whilst yes, it's a distraction, it's also a weakness, an opening which Aurora Youngblood exploited. Now Aurora Youngblood set their sights towards B, an opening pick perhaps from Grix with this AWP. Perhaps set themselves up for an execution. They know the money is weak for Copenhagen Wolves, but they know there's 2 saved weapons. Saved AWP, saved M4. Oh, Magina's got a Zeus. I'd love to see this. This Era's AWP to activate first. He finds a pick on towards Blixie, not punished by Grix's own AWP. Era will rotate to keep them guessing. Healer has found the AK crept through the smoke, shoulder spotted, walks through, lands the headshot, quick trade from Mikus. Man advantage maintained for Copenhagen Wolves and information in their pocket. Mikus tries to activate, tries to punish, doesn't expect Era to still be towards Van. He rotated away, but came back in at the last moment. Utility deployed on towards the site. Era holding very nice off angle here. That smoke will make it harder to use. Vilby, good for 1, catches the flank. 33 seconds. They know that this B bomb site stacked with all 3 players. So they go for a last second rotate to try and shuffle the cards. Look at this push from Tapperware. Just gets himself deep in towards the ramp. He'll hear the steps. Question is, Vilby and Blue-White, where do they go? They sprint in towards B or do they go in towards short? They're going to creep up change their approach, their angle of attack on towards this B-bomb site. Copenhagen Wolves can just hide, they can play the time, they can let it tick down, these steps will be heard. Era is in an open position, he's not been spotted, but it's Andu to activate first from the bench with the USP. 7 seconds left, in fact, no, not even 7 seconds, that's 7 seconds after the time, and Vilby will die after time. Meaning no cash awarded to him. Bit of a fumble there for Aurora Youngblood. You're up against an Eco, 1 saved AWP, 1 M4. AWP gets 1 kill. That 1 kill nets Magila an AK, and he gets 2. Oh, sorry, no, he only got 1. It was Era to get that 3rd frag. Aurora Youngblood panicking. They don't have the map control to work with. They're blind towards that B-bomb site. And the issue with executing on that B-bomb site, the issue with hitting that B-bomb site when there's a saved AWP is if you don't have the right flashes, the perfect flashes to push back an AWP, then that AWPer can pick you off in front of all that util. He can play on the van, play on the balcony, and any smokes, any utility, any flashes you throw towards the site will mean nothing unless you have the one flash to push back an AWPer from that angle. It's easier said than done. You might need 2 to cover all your bases. Aurora Youngblood set the sights towards A. Some utility to blind the Copenhagen Wolves in towards middle, smoke towards window, smoke towards top of mid, but they should very quickly identify that not a mid hold. Or a mid take. The smoke should give the game away. Already 2 players in strong position. Legend tucked into a sandwich in a great spot. Bit of a spam from Vilby. The flashes are good to push back Era, and Era will fall. Sejin overwhelmed. He was only good for 1. Man advantage for Aurora Youngblood as they found the openings on towards his A side. Bomb will be planted. And CT control on the cards. The flash comes through, allows them to swing in. A deep smoke should keep Magila at bay. Flash is going to come through. Blue-white tucks in front of it. He's going to tuck himself hiding in the smoke. He's going to be caught on something. Caught on a player. Andy. Andy's aware of it. Goes for the spam. Will eventually finish off Blue-white. For the meantime, Vilby also Tapware's rotation. It's down to the 1 versus 1. A beautiful shot from Andu. Bomb ticking down. There's not enough time. He does have a kit. Will tap it. He has to find the kill here and now, but Vilby waits. Didn't need to peek early. Even with Vilby falling, as long as he peeks, can count down in his head as soon as it's tapped to 5 seconds, as long as he peeks before those 5 seconds are over. But not too soon. That round is 1. Score will be tied again, 9-9. The Copenhagen Wolves did win a round on a full eco, with only a couple saved weapons. That gave them some breathing room as far as the financial situation is concerned. So they're going to be going for a bit of a force buy here. 3 M4s, 2 5.7s. Or Youngblood going for a bit more of a passive default. They want to identify what kind of buy they're up against first. The util should indicate some sort of investment. A beautiful flashbang coming out of window sets up Andu perfectly to isolate a fight, coming out the cover of that connector smoke to peek towards underpass. Opening kill, the rifle not retrievable for either of these 5-7 players, but Andu should be able to drop over his M4. Maybe feeling like a bit of a hero, like a bit of a star. He might keep that M4 in hands, and it's done enough work there. Catches Grix peeking around the edge of the smoke. Will punish him. That's a double kill for Andu. Will he make it more? No. Blixie catches him. Shots fired by the 5-7 under dark. Not the weapon for the job. Not the position you want for a 5-7 to be in. If there was an M4 there, then this round could have been as good as Copenhagen Wolves. In fact, I'm almost certain. M4 there, Blixie falls, and Sejin can isolate and go for the next fight. But instead, with the 5-7, he's just overwhelmed. Couldn't take down Blixie at that range. We'll see Aurora Youngblood be the first to double digits here on Mirage. Gila Managed to find that single Galil. Drop towards underpass. We'll look to save this rifle.
Terrorists win.
And save his Kevlar too. He'll be able to drop over his 5.7 to a teammate. And if Copenhagen Wolves want, they can go for an eco. See if this AK has what it takes. Or this Galil, sorry. Not even an AK, it's just a Galil. That's what it takes to try and find an upset of a round. Slow default for Aurora Youngblood. This time focusing towards mid-control. So far we've seen on their anti-ecos have not been using mid as much as they perhaps could, considering they're still going for defaults. They take this portion of the map knowing that there's no counter, or very little at least, counter utility for the CTs to have. Sergeant. Down low. Counter flashing towards connector. Blixie fully blinded. He's going to be overwhelmed. 4 does pivot around the fine Sergeant. Trying to punish. Regila tries to activate, but Blixie somehow lands an accidental headshot to Era behind him. Vaporware hiding behind triple will activate. Blue-white overwhelmed. Dancing around this box, but Grix will catch him. He's Andu. 1 versus 3, softened up by the HE. It will be Aurora Youngblood up onto 11 first. Aurora Youngblood now look to accelerate in towards mid-control. They want to stir their dominance, stamp their foot down. But it's not successful. There's the issue when they go fast and loose for Aurora Youngblood is their trading then starts to lack. And you've got one player, Vilby, swinging towards connector. There's no trade behind it. There's no second player, or towards catwalk, sorry. There's only one player swinging towards catwalk. Vilby loses that fight, no trade. The next player, blue-white, tries to capitalize on the space coming up connector. Spam down, no trade. Grix now has to make the hero plays in towards middle lane. He's going to do that and then some. A triple kill. Brings it back into the 2-on-2. Some beautiful shots. Dragging Aurora Youngblood, kicking and screaming. Closer towards the finish line. In fact, make it a 4K. This young talent, single-handedly, putting this round into the favour of Aurora Youngbloods. This was a 5 versus 3. Just Taperwet. 1 versus 2. The rest of his teammates have fallen victim to the Belarusian bulldozer. Molly dropped in towards CT and Grix will find the ace to get Aurora Youngblood onto map, match and series point. And as I was saying, the aggression from Aurora Youngblood is when they go faster, when they play less composed. That's when they split apart, when their trading is non-existent. We saw it on Inferno when they played these more looser rounds, when the players had the freedom, they take solo fights one at a time. When they pick up the pace here on Mirage, when they accelerate in towards mid with a faster 1-3-1, it's a solo fight towards short, a solo fight towards connector. Not playing together, not playing coordinated. But when you've got a player like Grix, it can bail you out. Just imagine if you played that coordinated Counter-Strike, had that trade potential, and then you have Grix to bail you out when things go wrong. A formidable side, Aurora Youngblood. One round away. It's Copenhagen Wolves staring down the barrel of elimination here in the lower bracket final. Copenhagen Wolves lose one more round. That's it. It's 4th place for them. A hair's breadth away from their hands on some prize money. Only the top 3 get any prize money here in European Pro League Division 2. Copenhagen Wolves have next to nothing to try and contest for it. 3 MP9s, 2 Famises, very weak utility. Slow from Aurora Youngblood, but again, it's nothing much in towards mid-control. They're waiting for the aggression to come from Copenhagen Wolves. And with the kind of buy they have, it kind of got to come. Unless these weaker weapons can find the magic. There's a bit of a stack over towards A. Magila, the solo defender, towards B. It's a bit of a gamble from Copenhagen Wolves. But that gamble might just pay off as Aurora Youngblood set their sights towards A. 3 towards ramp, 1 palace, and Blixie coming in late towards underpass. Proactive plays, the util comes out for them to fight in towards middle. Blixie finds the time to peek, catches Taperware. He's now identified himself as a threat. Just has to wait for the time to activate again, but no. Pushes too far into the waiting arms of Andu. 3 versus 2. Swing comes out towards the top of stairs. Grix now left in the 1 versus 3. A quick transfer on towards Magila, but will he have anticipated Andu walking through? A single shot fired from towards Triple will give up his location into the 1 versus 1, but Andu will finish off the low HP Grix. It will be a 10th for Copenhagen Wolves. A bit of a fumble there for Aurora Youngblood. They've got the man advantage at this point. The utility comes in. But Copenhagen Wolves, they play proactive to say, look, with this setup, as the util comes in, let's fight towards connect to clear out the flank. Now, as I mentioned with Blixie coming in towards underpass, as soon as he gets that 1 kill, he knows that Andu, or whoever else is going to be in connector, is going to be focused, full attention on clearing him out. They have to hunt him down, otherwise it's a nightmare to hold that A site with a player coming on the flank. So he just had to stay alive there, but instead he falls, jumps the gun. Now Copenhagen Wolves have a possibility to try and close down this scoreline. Andu taking the initiative, taking point after winning that 1 versus 1 clutch. He's got a fire in his belly. Gets the opening kill. Weak buy for Aurora Youngblood. A Mac-10, a Galil. Not the greatest util. And now a man disadvantage. Now, what they do have going for them is the fact that Copenhagen Wolves was only 1 player surviving in the last round. Means not a great buy for them. No AWP for Era. A big threat, not on the table. Gila down to a Famus, and already a minute on the clock, and not a single piece of utility left. The Copenhagen Wolves side. Vilby in a very forward position. Activates coming in towards short. A perfect split on towards this B site. They set themselves up. Era and Andu find 1 apiece. Man advantage for the CTs. Beautiful HE. Andu down to 11 points of health. Gotta set themselves up for a post plant here. Good smoke. Will punish Andu trying to creep through. Magila doing the exact same. He's just to creep through the smoke. And that leaves Sejin, and Grix will punish him. It will be a 2-0 here for Aurora Youngblood. A very close, tight game on both maps. 13-11 on Inferno and a 13-10. And Grix pulling them through the dirt, over the line on a couple of those rounds, making up for their mistakes. And they will be going through to that consolidation final. And that'll be Copenhagen Wolves eliminated in 4th place. We've got 1 more game coming up later today, and that's the upper bracket final. NAVI Junior versus kONO. That'll be after a short break, around 20-30 minutes before that game. And we'll see you then, so don't go anywhere. Welcome back to European Pro League Division 2. We've got one more best of 3 today, and it is the upper bracket final. We're going to be seeing who is our first team in that grand final, and it is kONO ECF versus NAVI Junior. NAVI Junior on your screen here, as you can see, Demon, Krebeni, Makazi, Semchi, Ziug, heavily led by the Kosovan duo of Krebeni and Makazi, some star players in their own right. They're an aggressive young academy team who have played some pretty good Counter-Strike, who are starting to make some more waves in the Tier 2, Tier 3 scene. Against them is kONO. They themselves came second in Group C, and they made their way all the way to the upper bracket final, and they're a very slow, passive style of play. It's almost traditional CIS Counter-Strike with a very slow wait for the opponents to make mistakes. We see the map veto here. Nuke and Vertigo banned out, Inferno and Anubis picked, followed by Mirage and Dust 2 ban, leaving Ancient as the decider. Now, just going to quickly look at the win stats on these maps for these different teams. NAVI Junior definitely have a much greater win rate on all three of these maps than kONO do. That being said, Ancient is still a pretty good map for kONO. It's going to be a steep hill for kONO to climb, but again, their style of play is very slow, and they will wait for their opponent to make the mistakes. Often, it does come to bite them sometimes. If the opponent doesn't do anything, then kONO run out of time, right? They let that clock tick down too far. But NAVI Junior, they're a side who do like to play aggressive. They do like to take the fights on their terms. The question is, will they be able to read that kONO side? Starting especially on a map like Inferno, which is, I'm almost certain, a map which Krebeni himself is very comfortable on. I've seen him multiple times take over games simply on that T side of Inferno. And if this is kONO's pick, it does mean that NAVI Junior will likely start on that CT side. They'll be able to sit back and wait for kONO to be the ones to make the mistakes. And yeah, kONO, very slow-sided team. In fact, no, it's the other way around. NAVI Junior will be the one starting on that T side. kONO choosing to start on the CT. Or rather, the other way around, sorry. NAVI Junior choosing to start on the T. kONO forced on towards that CT. Will be fast from NAVI Junior in towards middle. A burst, a pop, straight in towards mid. Sprinting up towards long. In the meantime, Biria catches Krebeni, waiting towards the bottom of mid. It's a split attempt from NAVI Junior to barrel their way in towards B, through towards CT, but they've been caught in transition. The initial prong of that B hit coming in from Banana dealt with. Then leaves Semchi, Makaze, 2 versus 4. They've slowed the round down. Let kONO split up their defense. Let them spread out again. The further kONO spread out, the easier this is for NAVI Junior. But kensaiza kept on the edge of the angle. Soltovsky, beautiful shot on towards Makaze. They deal with them swiftly. Will be a 1-0 start for kONO here on their map pick. Beautiful shot from Biria. Yeah, and as they sprint up towards long, there's nothing to stop that player in towards Boiler from peeking, catching them in the back as they run around the corner. Full eco for NAVI Junior, not a single dollar invested. They're going to sprint up towards second mid. Perhaps set them sights over towards this A site through apps for a potential apps pop. But you can see kONO are aware that this is a possibility. Soltovsky in towards the Boiler, but he's just backed out of Boiler. Faded away. Could have got a lot of information, confirmed the position. In fact, he's fallen all the way out of mid as well. The timing is impeccable on this site here, but kensaiza towards long with the M4 does activate. And NAVI Junior picked apart. They're culled away. Paul Badana will find the double. It's only one single kill. Krebeni on towards Soltovsky. kONO deal with the Glocks with relative ease. Full investment comes out. The AK's in play. Soltovsky, after falling, is going to pick up that AWP very quickly, and immediate opening kill. Krebeni down. Kosovan leader no longer able to lead from the front. Man advantage for kONO. NAVI Junior have to battle back from the back foot. Now, your initial sort of intuition here on Inferno tells you that the B site is likely to be the site with less players on. But at the moment, there are 3 players. As soon as I say that, cast the cursor into existence. kONO rotates back over towards the A site. But it's a good read as well, considering the lack of information kONO have towards A. Well-timed smoke from Paul Bandana will push back the T's away from apps. With this man advantage, kONO are happy to forfeit all map control. They've given up banana, given up top banana, given up all of middle, and barely even spotting short. And NAVI Junior are going to creep their way towards the top bracket control. Accelerate up towards short molly to isolate Paul Bandana, who will be fully flashed and walking to the pre-fire from Diogs, and he's going to find a second headshot to Zoltovsky, pushing in through that smoke. kONO unable to do anything to assist his teammates as he falls quickly thereafter. Leaving Amster and Biria, 2 MP9s looking to save a composed sight here on towards NAVI Junior. And again, this is a great example of how sort of timid that kONO play. Like we already identified on their T side, it is just sitting back and waiting the entire time. But on their CT side, once they get that man advantage, they do the exact same. They say, look, we've got that man advantage, let's not give them anything else. And they literally sit on the bomb sites as far back as possible. And it gives NAVI Junior so much room, so much freedom to set themselves up on a site hit.
Terrorists win.
Beautiful opening, beautiful shot. But here, they just burst. Molly isolates Paul Bandana, breaks apart that crossfire. It's all well and good relying on your setups at the back of the site, but you've got to follow through. Those setups can't be broken. If you break them, falls apart. Paul Bandana probably peaking a little bit too early. kONO empty their bank accounts to afford this investment. Still a Famison and MP9. 1 single kit. Beautiful HE Biria. Down to half HP. Kazi with the responsibility of fighting towards Banana. He domes Biria. Takes the one-on-one fight. Pivotal engagement again. NAVI Junior looking to try and abuse apps here. Catch Paul Bandana, trade 1-for-1, but a messy spray from Ziogs can't quite finish off kONO. Sentry will catch the player rotating. It's kONO to try and hold down this site on his own. He finds the second frag. Repositions in towards the pit. Caught. Spotted by Krabeni. NAVI Junior can now close in on his position. A smoke to try and buy time, buy space. The molly to try and isolate him, but it'll be Makazi to find the frag. The Kosov and duo to try and defend this bomb plant, and a beautiful shot from Krabeni. Amster stood no chance on that jiggle peak. NAVI Junior tied the score. Beautiful opening from Makaze towards Banana. They just capitulate that A-site defense. You can tell NAVI Junior have done their preparation, right? They're looking to try and abuse the passive holds on this A site. They creep up close. They don't waste time burning utility, working map control, because they know that kONO will give it to them freely over towards A. Now a bit of a mix-up. kONO are going to get aggressive towards apps, but this is with just pistols. Nothing to stop NAVI Junior progressing up towards Banana. They even get an opening kill with the HEs. The question is, does Demon check his corner here? He should do after hearing those steps. There you go. We'll catch kONO trying to react off the engagement. In the meantime, the B site has been taken by Makaze. kONO now will just look to see if they can find a single kill pick up a weapon. NAVI Junior know it's a possibility that they could be still tucked in towards ruins. Even a molly on the bomb to seal the deal.
Terrorists win.
Tactical pause from kONO. That should indicate to NAVI Junior that an adaptation will come in this round. NAVI Junior themselves can discuss exactly what they should expect here. Plenty of blocking utility for kONO to buy for time, but they don't have any kits to play for retake. Kazi takes banana control for free and immediately Dome Soltovsky catches him. Just a dry peek. Makazi, so much confidence, so much freedom to bully Banana. Already an opening kill. In the meantime, Sentry has fallen. I believe that was towards the top of mid. And again, NAVI Junior, they take mid for free. Very little util used to clear it, just a hate sheet. They know that kONO playing all the way back, passive towards A, towards Pit and Moto. Kansai's jiggling will spot them and will drop a smoke. Needs to be a reaction now from the kONO players. They group up, go for a reactive play in towards short. Flash will hold them back for a moment. Peek from Kansai almost catches Demon, but Demon will be the one to find the frag, and Bandana unable to trade. NAVI Junior have pulled the rotation away from this B-bomb site, and now they set their sights to hit a site where there's only one defender. That's Amster. He deploys his utility to try and keep them at bay, but it's not going to do much. The Molotovs, the incendiaries on that CT side, don't spread quite as far. They don't cover quite as much space. So NAVI Junior will be able to get that bomb down without losing too many players. And kONO, with their economic situation, with no kit in play either, man disadvantage, this has just got save written all over it. And again, the issue here for kONO is that they give NAVI Junior so much space over towards A. They're giving so much respect to NAVI Junior in mid. I mean, add on top of that the fact that Makaze is just getting openings, constantly winning solo fights with no support over towards B. That's the second round in a row or something, or maybe even third round. Second round in the space of 3, should I say, where he just walked up Banana and got a clean headshot on a player stood still. But it's more the case of NAVI Junior, they take middle for free. Right, NAVI Junior, because they know kONO sit all the way back, they know that they don't have to invest smokes and Molotovs and utility to take middle. They know that they can take that silently without giving kONO the information. So all kONO are doing is saying, hey, let's take these engagements at much further back. The advantage of playing further back is that you let the T's waste more time in utility working map control. But NAVI Junior know that they get that map control for free. Now a bit of a change up. Soltovsky posts up towards long. The smoke comes through. Keeps them at bay. This time NAVI Junior take it a little bit more heavily. Pushes Soltovsky back. Just as you thought kONO would try and adapt. And they did. Post up. Zoltovsky with that famous towards long. He's immediately pushed back by single smoke. NAVI Junior cut noise. We go for a bit of a contact. Apply a bit of pressure to Zoltovsky. It's a B smoke deployed. Blind Zoltovsky. He has to drop an incendiary. Try and keep Krebeni here. Stop him from finding that timing to getting towards Arch. Zoltovsky makes his way through, but the FAMA's an unwieldy weapon. Fortunately, Biria's there to trade, but that's all the information NAVI Junior need. They know now that Biria not in place towards B. The site, at best, has one player to defend, and it's Amster who's playing retake. Hold strong for one. Makazi overextending in towards Coffins, trying to find that space, but bomb will be planted. kONO do have that man advantage. The possibility of trading out to try and get this bomb defused. Not going to be easy with Sentry posted up with this AWP towards a new box. Shoulder spotted. Smoke towards Coffins fades. Molly to try and flush Sentry out. He repositions. Missed shot onto the first. Holding behind this pillar. Good flick on towards Amster. Doesn't quite land the second, but it will be Zeugs falling. Towards Dark, leaving Demon, but too much on his plate. Defuse should come through, and kONO will get their third. Strong retake there from kONO, knowing not to let Sentry peek them with that AWP. NAVI Junior will take a tactical pause. Both teams will enter around the break with a full bite. Again, banana control. Heavily in the hands of Makaze. But his team killed. Sentry spams him from behind. Fully blinded. Catches him. An opening kill for kONO. Well, feels like the first. And that kill on Makaze is all kONO need to lean heavy over towards A. Stack 4 players here. And not a moment too soon. Or not a moment too late. They get themselves in place. 2-man fight towards long. Firing squad established and they mow down 3. Amster and Biria activate these Zeugs in a 1 versus 5. Left tucked in towards Apps. Waiting out the smoke. Paul Bandana will hold an off angle underneath the balcony. Zeugs creeps out, the head will be spotted. Paul Bandana will close it out. A clean round for kONO. All off the back of a team kill. Sentry spamming the smoke of the bomb of Banana. Fully blinded, not realising he was just plugging bullets into Makaze's back. NAVI Junior more than enough cash for full investment. Scoreline tied. Both teams looking to try and take a lead at the half. This time NAVI Junior set all 5 players towards A, Makaze included. But again, kONO, they lean 4 players here. A strong number, but it's a full-on Apps pop. Pole Bandana only, well, not even good for 1. Overwhelmed, but Biria activates, good for 2. But the trades come in thick and fast. Man advantage for NAVI Junior as they secure the site and get this bomb planted. Bomb is planted. kONO have time. Soltovsky and Amster to try and clear middle. Try and find a possible route in towards this bomb site. Good flash in towards short will delay kONO by an extra second. Amster. Brave attempt, flash by Soltovsky to peek short, see if they can find a kill. But nothing presents itself. And with that, kONO choose to go for a save.
Terrorists win.
A very quick apps burst from NAVI Junior, even with kONO having 4 players towards A, 2 of which were towards long. Because there's 2 towards long, it still means there's only 2 to defend A. Negating the effect of the stack. Times Krabeni taking point, taking spawn, going for the potential entry towards B. Flash comes through, but it's Sentry to find the trade. Amster holds strong. There's 3 players in wait for kONO. Soltovsky, missed shot, will be punished by Demon, but it's a man advantage going kONO's way. Amster needs to maintain his life. NAVI Junior just going to accelerate. They want to try and abuse Amster, get him whilst he's isolated, stuck on towards the site. Not going to be. Amster finds 3. Again, similar play. Makazi, though, deterred by that HE. 5-5. NAVI Junior going to be going for this force by 3 AKs, 1 Galil. I was about to say 1 Deagle, but that one removed. Soltovsky with the AWP will catch off Sentry. But again, NAVI Junior, they look to abuse this A site. They have the freedom to creep up towards short. Demon. Tucked behind the truck. Smoke in towards Moto will isolate Soltovsky. The crossfire established here. Paul Mandana good for 2. Finally, he finds some impact and it's a full quad kill. No longer abused, no longer being traded out in towards pit, no longer breaking the crossfire, no longer breaking the setup. Instead, it's maintained. He sets himself up perfectly with this quad kill. So far, NAVI Junior have been able to abuse him constantly towards apps, knowing that he sits tight in towards pit, knowing that eventually he'll peek out, eventually he'll swing. In that setup, he holds, he doesn't break. Perfect bait and switch between him and Kinsizer. I'm into the final round of the half, and NAVI Junior forcing on just pistols. It's Tech 9s and Deagles. They creep in towards B. There's 3 players lying in wait, though. Krabeni finds the opening with a Tech 9. Amster answers back with 2, but it's traded. 3 versus 3, and now NAVI Junior can pick up a couple of those weapons. M4 on Demon, AK on Sentry, but Soltovsky's going to hold strong towards the back of Dark. Quick trade. Again, 2 versus 2, bomb planted. And weapons in the hands of these NAVI Junior players. Paul Bandana. Going to rotate in, group up with Kinsizer. They've got a util for this retake. They've got smokes, can drop them on the bomb, drop them towards Banana. Incendiary can clear out at least 1 position. Question is, will they choose the right one? Molly towards new box. Allows them to no longer be concerned about that potential bait and switch. Smoke towards the bomb will allow Paul Bandana to hard clear dark, but it's not going to be the case. Missed spray from Sentry. Paul Bandana is just going to stick the bomb. A massive fumble there from Sentry. He could have found that kill. Would have allowed them, the two players, to then just focus their attention on Paul Bandana defusing, but no. Incisor will find the double kill. It will be a 2-round lead for kONO at the half. 7-5 is the score. Good recovery from kONO. Finally able to prevent NAVI Jr. from abusing that B-bomb site. Or rather abusing A, really. Abusing middle. Into the second pistol round, and Beria has a full belt of grenades. Smoke 2 flashes and a Molotov. Second smoke on Soltovsky. Looks like setting their sights towards a B execute. They're going to sit and wait for any aggression first, holding for any potential mid or banana pushes. NAVI Jr. happy to hold the 2-man setup. Towards the top of banana, about to be flashed in by Beria. This flash lands against the wall, but doesn't matter. Headshot found, upstairs straight on towards Demon. Sentry have to get out of there. Sets himself up for a potential crossfire here. Tucked towards Dark, Molly towards Nubox. Perfect shot on towards the first. Tucks around the corner, tries to let Makazi to take the next point of contact, but Paul Bandana with his picked up jewelry domes him. B-bomb site belongs to kONO. The Uggs and Krumbenny, who for the majority of this round were just in a 2-man setup towards Apps, now should likely look to save. The Uggs want to try and give it an attempt. They march in. Not being quiet at all. They cut noise and they're just going to fall back to save. They've not been given anything. They were hoping that perhaps if kONO were post-planting towards banana, that he could isolate a couple of the players still towards the top. Get it into a 2-on-2. They don't find anything and they don't fancy their chances of going for a last-minute 2 versus 4 directly on that B-bomb site. Knowing that none of them were holding towards B. Or towards banana, sorry. NAVI Jr. going for a second round force buy. 3 MP9s, 2 5.7s. A decent amount of utility. This sort of investment can be quite viable on a map like Inferno, where there's a lot of tight choke points, narrow corridors, where these weapons can close the distance against the rifles. Seems like kONO immediately set themselves up for an Apps pop. They take contact. Beautiful headshot on towards Makazi. Beria with the Galil. And then they burst, they flash, they accelerate. Demon, the closest player to defend, and he's gotten out of the sight. Looking to just hold towards long, maybe set up his teammates. Soltovsky's found one. Demon plays the trigger discipline. Mouse Incisor to sprint in towards CT. CX has found another one towards Amster. Demon could actually creep in towards the site and get the bomb defused. Or he could go for a flank and try and get a kill. He even had a smoke. He could have actually dropped that and defused. So attempted a 10-second. Oh, flood spray. Will find the kill. Should hear the steps of the player accelerating. Drops the smoke. Goes for the swing. Finishes off Paul Bandana, but no kit. There's no time. And Demon will even find a triple kill. So lots of damage done to kONO. And NAVI Jr. able to save 2 rifles. That's more of a victory than you'd think for NAVI Jr. Even though the scoreline is slowly creeping away from them, kONO up to a 9th. The fact that they wipe out all the kONO players, look what it does to their money. Yes, their buy here isn't too heavily compromised considering it's only the 3rd round, but they've got nothing left in their reserves. It causes this round to be a swing round, and with the 2 weapons saved, NAVI Junior can go for a force buy. A Galil and AK saved over, M4, FAMAS and MP9 bought up, a decent amount of utility, and this time a kit on Sentry. kONO playing uncharacteristically fast pace, taking banana quick here, 1 minute 30 on the clock. Amps there, flushed out by this molten incendiary. But not punished. NAVI Junior just keep kONO at bay. Nice HE. Softens Amster up even more so. NAVI Junior going for a bit of a gamble, rotate 4 players over towards A, but this whole time kONO has been sat waiting for any re-aggression, setting themselves up for the right time to hit this B-bomb site. Smoke will come through. So will the rotations. Molotov burnt a little bit prematurely. Makaze forced out to fight in front of the flames. Good for 1 before being traded. Fight comes through the smoke and kONO will hold strong. Tiltovsky very disciplined, focusing all his attention towards the fountain, trusting his teammates to deal with the player fighting in through CT. kONO will get their 10th as NAVI Junior elect to save. With an M4 and an MP9, estimating a likely eco, but the scoreline being 10-5 down for NAVI Junior might incentivize them to go for a buy, especially because they can actually drop over a couple M4s. They could get 3 rifles and MP9, and 1 player would be down on a FAMAS if they wanted. I know they will eco around the safe rifle. A couple 5.7s and an Eagle invested. A full round loss bonus, they can go down to around 2k. Trying to get aggressive in towards apps with this SMG. Paul Bandana going to jump in towards the bedroom. Up with 2 players actually. Bit of a spam to try and clear these angles, and Paul Bandana will hold. Zeox falls into his sight line. Man advantage for kONO. They're still just sitting back, waiting, holding. Any more potential pushes? Considering the weaker buy of NAVI Junior. Smoke and molly thrown towards the top of mid. Brackets taken. Smoke towards Moto to try and keep NAVI Junior entertained over towards A, but in reality, the end goal is here towards B. A good incendiary will keep these players at bay a small amount. In fact, no, there's a gap in front of it. They're going to force their way in. 10 seconds left, and Makazi won't find a single kill. He will go down without a fight. It's the M4 of Sentry been voided by kONO. Only as the bomb is planted does Sentry finally activate with it. Taking down Kinsizer. But on 1 versus 4, Sentry will have to save again. A bit of a gamble there from NAVI Jr. with that M4. Normally when you have a saved weapon, a strong weapon, backed up by Kevlar, a rifle, you want to set it up to find the kills. Not necessarily search for them, but be the weapon that's getting into these engagements. And to do so, you have to try and manipulate the map to your liking, to push and pull the Ts, or get that rifle involved. But instead, NAVI Jr. just sit back. They get the MP9 getting aggressive in towards apps, and the M4 just sits on that A site passively, hoping that kONO go towards A. Another tactical timeout from NAVI Jr. A second kONO now an arm's length away from winning their own map. NAVI Jr. quite far behind, but finally they have a full investment. Finally they have an AWP up on Sentry, full grenades on every single player. A couple kits to boot. Set their sights over towards B. Sentry taking that spawn with the AWP. Dunked on by a HE, down to half health. HE isn't enough to blow open that smoke to grant him vision. Instead, kONO will walk in towards Banana under the cover of this smoke. Amps there. Down to 15 points of health. Molotov to try and keep these players at bay. Makaze is in front though. Amps there. Wisely evacuates Banana. Don't want to get caught by the aggression from NAVI Jr. Both teams now set their sights towards A. Sentry rotates back over to group up with his teammates. kONO starts to pressure and take map control on that side of the map. Mid control in their hands. That's a mid to B smoke thrown. That's going to blind Sentry, block his vision. Make NAVI Jr. concerned about the possibility of a B split, or at least long control. They stay in a 3-2 setup. Makaze and Demon. Firing squad assembled. Shoulder spotted for Biria. He falls. That's a free kill for NAVI Jr. And the fact that there's no trade coming off the back of that, that's a dead giveaway that B wasn't the likely point of contention. Incisor has found the timing to walk his way in towards long. The Moto Smoke catches. Funnel Sentry on towards the site, and Sentry is doing damage with that AWP. Incisor won't find one, it's just Paul Bandana left trying to plant the bomb, but Zeogs that entire time was tucked towards the site waiting. Baited in. NAVI Jr. get the first round of the half. And immediately take another tactical pause. Both sides still able to get full investments out. kONO, it's a much more passive hold for them, holding from the back lines. Soltovsky smoked off with his AWP. NAVI Jr. take banana control on Makaze, accelerating down. Haven't invested too much util taking most of the map here. Steps made by kONO in towards apps. Information handed over towards NAVI Junior, but kONO, they accelerate. Flash themselves in towards mid. Benny not deterred, fights in towards mid. Good for one, but a messy spray means that Soltovsky can find the trade. 4 versus 4. NAVI Junior don't break setup. They're happy to set Makaze up for this next kill, but again it's traded. Demon now falls back towards the side to try and play for time. Smoke deployed. 35 seconds left. kONO with no presence towards A. They have to accelerate. Flash their way in towards B, and they're good to find the first. Demon falls fully blinded. 3 versus 2. kONO successfully trading out in the first 2 engagements down to the 3-on-3, and they isolate player towards B. And it's also something I've noticed for NAVI Junior, every single time they have someone solo B, whether it's Makaze or Demon, they're always playing first oranges. Every single time. And if that's a pattern that's repeated from multiple games, kONO, if they do their research, watch the demos, they'll very easily be able to find out just simply from looking at a heat map. So first oranges is almost always the point of call for the NAVI Junior when they're solo B. And if that is the case, then they do not have to worry about CT, coffins, anywhere on site. All they have to do is one flash high, wide swing, staring at first oranges. And they got a free B bomb site. kONO find themselves on map point now. Aggression from NAVI Junior. Makaze somehow gets his way to the top of the logs, but it's Demon to find the opening kill before Makaze falls again. Another traded engagement from kONO. Zeuggs tries to take matters into his own hands, but peeks onto Paul Bandana, who's holding patiently for that exact play. Man advantage for kONO. NAVI Junior know how slow kONO like to play. They can't risk getting too aggressive here to try and take this game back into their hands. They're going to rely on a gamble stack, but when you're up against map point, that's not the play you want to make. They leave 2 players over towards B. They try and trust Sentry to hold down A on his own, but an apps pop against an AWP. This could be NAVI Junior's undoing. The flash comes in. Sentry manages to get behind cover. Finds a first frag. Isolates. Dances around the pillar, but Beria will punish. Man advantage maintained for kONO, and they get the bomb site. Bomb will be planted. Vino planted for Pit. These 2 players set their post plant. Well-timed Molotov. Holds him at bay for another 7 seconds. Concisa withstands the incendiary in towards Pitt. Grabeni accelerates in towards the site on the back of the flash, but Soltovsky will then activate with the AWP. Traded down to the 1 versus 1, but bomb ticking. Concisa has the time on his side. He's just going to sit and fade this smoke. Demon does have a kit in play. Even has a HE. If he wanted to, he could blow open the smoke. Will find the kill, but there's not enough time. Simply took far too long to try and find Concisa there. And kONO will be victorious on Inferno. 13-6. A very strong display. As sketchy as it looked at points in that first half, there was weaknesses which were abused by NAVI Junior. But as soon as they swapped over, they stormed through into a 13-6. That's the first map done. We'll be moving on to Anubis next, which is NAVI Junior's map pick. That'll be back after a quick 10-minute break, so do not go anywhere.